Hello guys, it is Jacob here. In this video I'm coming with a PvE part of the build review. With my PvE focus I try to do all-around build pretty much, so I can do everything with it. I can heal dungeons well enough, because dungeons are easy content. I can do contracts, I can do like world bosses and overworld content, like anything PvE you can just do with this build without changing anything. Maybe for the rune dungeons you would want to swap to like PvE full heals or more heals at least, but I'm not going through that. This is just to get you through your daily like chores in the game, let's say. So this can work everywhere, as I said, dungeons and open world dungeons as well, farming. Yeah, I will go through the skills, passives, yeah, pretty much it. You can just use your PvP gear, don't care much about the gear, just if you are even just a little focused on PvP, just follow your PvP guide, whichever you chose. Like Eli has one on max roll. I've made a video previously about my PvP build, so just use the gear you have for PvP and swap your skills around, and this is what I come up with, which is the most all around I could get it, so I don't have to swap much or pretty much anything when I do the normal dungeons, tier 1, tier 2 and the overworld content. So yeah, for the skills, still using the want block because that's a free heal in dungeons. After mechanics, like after boss mechanics, if someone fails to dodge them or block them and you successfully block them, you have a free heal to heal the person that failed the mechanic for free. So this is that is really nice. If you are lucky enough and you have the excavator wand, this heal also procs the excavator wand effect if they are low enough on health. So that is really nice heal. Like the excavator effect heals for 20k HP easily. So yeah, free heal from block. Then just to get a curse on a target when you are in a dungeon and you are not the main focus of the damage, so you cannot spread your any curses with your chaotic shield because you are not blocking. I have curse on my number 1 button just to put it on a target, and then in a dungeon my main source of healing is vampiric contract, which works like this. You put a curse on a target, and I'm targeting Nikki here, and I start doing damage to the target, and as you can see like the damage is healing Nikki for a good amount. And yeah, that's pretty much my main source of healing. So when you have multiple people in the party, you have to have them on the target. You cannot just use quick casts like I could with if I use the healing here. And I'm not targeting anything with my mouse, and I would use my swift healing, I would heal myself. But if I mouse over Nikki, I will heal Nikki directly. So you can set it up right here. Settings, shortcuts, and that is this quick slots. And set the quick slot shortcuts instead of use skills. And use skills on indicated target. Just use the quick slots, and that will allow you to use the mouse over mechanics. Even it works in party like this, or you can target him directly. You don't need to click him, you just need to mouse over him pretty much, and works well everywhere. But for the vampiric effect to take effect, you need to have the target on the target, so when there is like some person in the dungeon running low, you just target them in the party. Put your curse on the boss. If it is a DPS, just feel free to buff them with your buff and heal them through the vampiric effect. If it is not necessary to heal them quickly, just use the vampiric effect. and dish out your damage. Helps to clear the dungeon faster, pretty much. So yeah, that's why the curse is there. In most guides that I saw on the internet, like when you go AoE farming somewhere, people suggest you to use your curse from Chaotic Shield and Touch of Despair, and then Corrupted Magic Circle with Curse Explosion. I've been using it for quite a while, but that gameplay becomes really boring after a while. So I swapped fully to staff skills, and I find that much more enjoyable. So the build goes like this. Serial Firebombs. I'm not using the big firebomb because the main reason I use this skill is to put burning stacks on the target. So serial firebombs put more burning stacks to the target than the one big fireball, which in theory deals more damage in the end, but I want the burning stacks on the target as fast as possible. So serial firebombs allows you to run around while you are casting them as well. Deals AoE damage because of the skill specialization, and you can cast them instantly if you use the instant casting here, which you cannot use with the big fireball. So this turns the skill into an instant. You can cast it up to 3 times. And yeah, after that I use Inferno Wave. That is this skill with cooldown reduction and consecutive use, so I have a chance to be able to use it twice. It is doing damage, but it is also there to be able to stack the burning stacks on the target faster. So as you can see, 8 stacks now, and I'm on 10 stacks pretty much instantly just from that, because something procced. Mostly you will get to like 6 or 8 stacks. The next skill that I use for applying burning stacks is my Burning Smokescreen, which is your blink without specialization. It is called Frost Smokescreen. I put it to the Burning Smokescreen so it leaves lava ground on the ground. I blink twice through a boss, and it starts stacking burning for you. Yeah, that's the third source for burning damage. And why all the burning damage, you might ask? That's because burning damage through your passives increases your chance to deal heavy attack. Let me see if I can find it quickly somewhere. I believe it was somewhere there. Here. So that's this one. Increases burning damage over time by 66%, and the main part is using a skill on a victim of the user's burning increases heavy attack chance by 10 for each stack of burning. So you can stack burning up to 10 stacks, so that's 100 heavy attack chance, which is the X amount of damage times 2 that appears on the screen sometimes. We can try. Okay. I'm not sure if I procced it even once, because I'm a healer, so I don't have that high like heavy attack chance, but yeah, there it was. It comes up sometimes. So there's heavy attack chance that affects that times 2 thingies. It is not critical hit like some people might think. Critical hit just makes sure that when you are dealing damage, there's a spread on the damage numbers, like from lowest to highest, and critical hit just makes sure that you deal the highest damage on the hit that you can with the skill. That's critical hit chance, and heavy attack chance gives you the chance to deal double damage with that, so that's the times 2. So yeah, those are 3 sources of burning, like Fireball, Inferno Wave, and Burning Smokescreen. And that pairs really well with these skills because I increase the heavy attack chance of those, and those are my clear skills pretty much. All the skills deal AoE damage, so it is great for AoE farming. So Chain Lightning with this specialization, Chain Lightning, damage transfer and damage transfer again, like makes sure that it is always AoE and leaves AoE on the ground even when it is not like raining. So that's why it is there. So that's AoE damage, and then another AoE damage with Judgment Lightning. I have all three specializations here as well. If you would like, that makes it like a cast, like 1 second cast before it goes off. But if you would like to get the 5 points somewhere else, you can get rid of this and put it, like, for example, here. If you are struggling with mana, just make your inner piece last longer, helps you with mana, or put it here to give you like quality of life in dungeons. So that's 5 points that you could put somewhere else, and then like you can use that skill instantly, and if it heavy hits, it when it heavy hits, you are able to use it again, basically. So that is also something that the burning damage will help you with. So you keep your burning stacks on the target, increasing your heavy attack chance. So you heavy hit with this skill more often, so you can use it twice, even without the specialization. And the last damaging skill that I have here is Fireball Barrage. That also works wonders with higher burning stacks. So keeping higher burning stacks is very important, because this shoots a barrage of projectiles like this. But at base, when the target has no burning stacks, it only shoots like 10 projectiles. But with the specialization here, Fireball Frenzy, it shoots 1 additional fireball per stack of burning on a target. So if you have 10 stacks on the target, like this, and you cast it, it will just cast for a while, like 20 fireballs, so that increases your damage. Pretty much doubles the damage of the skill. So you always want to keep 10 burning stacks on target. So those are my damaging skills. The last one more damaging skill that you might consider damaging skill or might not is my inner piece, which I use the Thunder Blessing specialization on that. So when you start running on low on mana, you just put Fountain of Life under you to stack up Selfless Soul, and you start casting it, and it will damage monsters around you while giving you back mana. So it is really nice, like mana recovery on this build. Sorry, on this build. For support skills, Swift Healing without any specialization, so you can only heal twice with it, like this. But I find it more than enough to heal tier 2 dungeons with this, so should be enough if you use the Vampiric Contract efficiently in the dungeon. Then Fighting Spirit Barrier, that's this specialization here, which gives an ally that you target this spell with, it gives them 92 max damage, so it increases their damage. And I have increased duration as well, so it lasts for quite a while, like 12 seconds almost. So yeah, that ally will deal more damage. So if you are in a dungeon with like crossbow users, let's say, or staff bows or staff daggers, yeah, just use it on the highest damage dealer that you who you think will deal the most damage, just use it on them on cooldown. The next utility skill is Time for Punishment. I have the increased duration here. You just put it on a boss, and everyone in the party basically deals more skill damage to the boss. So, not using it as a buff, using it as a debuff on a target that you are damaging. So when you have like one monster left from a bigger pack, just put it on them to kill them faster, but mainly for bosses. The next utility skill, Fountain of Life. That's like really nice quality of life heal, so works like a healing spell, but most often I just use it to recover mana. So I basically put it under me to stack Selfless Soul on me, so I have higher mana regen, and then I boost the mana regen with Thundering Blessing, as I shown you in the previous video as well. For the passives, Full of Corruption increases max damage when you are killing monsters that are affected by weaken effects. Weaken effects here are not only your curses, but also the burning. So whenever you kill something burning or cursed, you get a stack of this, which gives you more mana regen and more damage. So also, when you start running low on mana during your farm, and you have a pack to kill, just kill the pack of monsters, put your healing Fountain of Life, and then start casting Thundering Blessing. So you recover even more mana, because all this mana regen gets killed by the Thundering Blessing effect. So yeah, the next wand passive here is Selfless Soul. Increased health recovery, regen, and mana regen. So that's the same effect as in the PvP build. Like, you are healing someone or you are healing yourself, you are stacking a buff on yourself and them. And yeah, in the PvE build, it is used mainly for the mana regen. In PvP for healing, but that's in the other video. And the last one passive that I use for PvE is the Vampiric Contract. If you have no one on the target, it will always heal you, so you can heal yourself while farming really efficiently, like this. So you can see it heals even for 1k when you deal a lot of damage. So you will be able to keep yourself alive pretty much indefinitely unless you get stun locked. But that does not happen often. Like, it happens really rarely. Now for the stuff passives, Asceticism increases mana regen when you do not move. So when you stand still, you get higher heavy attack chance and mana regen. So yeah, when you start running low on mana, just stop for a bit, kill the monsters that you are killing to stack up your Full of Corruption, put Fountain of Life under you, and start casting the Thunder Blessing. You will pretty much top up yourself on mana almost every time. Unless you are really on zero, then yeah, you did something wrong if you run out of mana. Like when you start running to around 50% mana, try to find a window to use the Thundering Blessing or Inner Peace. Yeah, if you have a bow user in your party and you can time using your Inner Peace with Nature's Blessing, do that definitely, because this increases your mana regen tremendously, and you then boost that already boosted mana regen with your Inner Peace. So yeah, just use that when the bow buff is up. Next thing here, Forbidden Sanctuary increases skill damage. That also increases your heals. So yeah, more damage, more healing. That's a no-brainer. Increases maximum mana and maximum health. Means you can cast spells for longer. Flame condensation, already thought about that, like increases your heavy attack chance for each burning stack on a target, so that's 100 heavy attack chance. If you keep if you keep 10 stacks on target, which you should have no issues doing. And the last one here, Mana Ball Eruption. When you are casting spells or attacking, you have a chance to cast like an extra projectile that deals extra damage. I can just be casting here and you can see the extra projectile flying to the side sometimes. That was it, this one. So that's the passive there. That's just a little bit of extra damage. It also works when you are casting spells, as you can see. Sometimes the projectile flies out even when I'm casting spells, so that's not only auto attacking but even when casting spells. This passive always works, and it's just a passive damage on top of your already pretty high damage. So for the rotation, it goes like this, like put up your curse, start stacking your firebombs, then buff yourself or someone with Spirit Barrier, debuff the boss with Time for Punishment, stack your fireballs, use your Judgment Lightning, and while it is going off, pop some other spells, then pop the Judgment Lightning again, and keep casting everything on cooldown pretty much. If you have the time for that, get closer to the boss, blink through him, blink back, just to get a little bit more damage going off. And you can just clear packs like this pretty much indefinitely. If you have your skills on higher levels, like I have everything on green 1 because I recently swapped to bow, but if you have the inner piece on higher level, even here I'm able to regenerate like 45% of my mana. If you have it on higher level, you should be able to easily regenerate like 60% of your mana when it is not raining. If it is raining, or if you are standing in a puddle of water, you will be able to regenerate your entire mana pool like it is nothing. So you should have no struggles again running out of mana with this build. So yeah, that's that. We can go through the skill specializations again. I've gone through them while explaining the skills, but yeah, here it is. Time for Punishment, increased duration. Blessed Barrier with Fighting Spirit Barrier and increased duration. Fountain of Life with mana recovery. If you feel like you don't need the mana recovery, just put the AoE there and you should be good to go. I'm still using this in PvE because I did not figure out the PvE build with my bow yet. So I don't have the Thundering Blessing on higher level, I have it on green 1, so I'm struggling with mana sometimes, so that's why I keep the mana regen here. But if you have higher level skills, feel free to put the Fountain of Life range here. Or this. I might even run this, yeah. And that would be it. For the for the staff skills, firebombs with mobility, so you can move while casting them. Instant cast. If you remove this and just try to cast this, there's a cast time. As you can see, you cannot freely move while casting it. So even when this removes the cast time, this point is still necessary to have to be able to move freely like this. So yeah, that's a quality of life. But if you feel like that is not necessary, just put it elsewhere. Like this is quality of life point. This is mandatory for AoE clearing. If you are going for maximum single target, if you are going for like world bosses, you can put it here. Not here. There was something else where I was putting it. I'm not sure where I was putting it, but there was something that gave me more damage. It was this. I had this on something else before. So, yeah, AoE and removes cast time. Without this, you will have to cast the fireball and then you can cast while moving. With this, all three of the casts will be instant. So, yeah, for instant casting, these 2 points are necessary. This one is for AoE. Inferno Wave, reduced cooldown and chance to use it twice, or just chance to like gives you a chance that you can use the skill the second time after you use it, like it cooldowns and I can use it again. If the target is already burning, this skill will always like put burning stacks on the target. So yeah, that's that. Burning smoke screen, just another source of burning. If you feel like you are stuck in burning well enough, you can use these 5 points elsewhere again. So yeah, you can use it like this, which would make it possible to cast like AoE like this. So you can nuke things from a range. So maybe like this on bosses, yeah, depends. So you don't have to move to the boss, jump around and move out. You can just cast it from range, but then you are losing mobility skill pretty much, which comes in handy sometimes when you get surrounded by monsters. You just want to be able to blink out from them. So that's it. Then chain lightning, all three here, because you don't want to be like tied to Rainin. So because this skill, if you don't have this specialization, only chains when it is raining. It is not raining. Oh, it is raining right now. I cannot show it to you. So it is raining, so it would chain here. So when it is raining, you can swap this point, but this point makes sure that it always chains even when it is not raining. So that's why it is there. And the same point is here on Judgment Lightning, so it does the same thing when it is not raining. You basically have this option here. Another option would be get rid of this, so you have a source of chill, and then you would jump into monsters, they get chilled, and then you use it on them, and it has the same effect as raining, but it is another interaction that you have to think of, and yeah, you don't want to think about much when you are running around the world doing the chores. You just want to watch Netflix on the other monitor while killing monsters. So this just pretty much frees headspace. So just all three on Chain Lightning, and you are good to go. Thunder Blessing, it is your mana recovery tool, and you can turn it into a damaging spell while recovering your mana, so why not? It is only 5 points, where when you don't really have like another place to use those points anyway. So yeah, why not? That's more damage while you are recovering mana. So yeah, that's that. Fireball Barrage, definitely this point. And if you have the points, cooldown as well, so you can use it more often. If you have the cooldown on this, it has pretty much the same cooldown as Judgment Lightning. So in your rotation you use Judgment Lightning, then you cast your fireballs, you cast other spells, you use the second charge of Judgment Lightning, and as you can see, they are on the same cooldown. And if you are buffing people, these buffs or this buff has pretty much the same cooldown as well, so you can buff yourself, cast Judgment Lightning, deal more damage with it, cast this, and you basically use these 3 spells in conjunction. So you buff yourself, you cast Lightning, you cast Fireballs, you cast other skills, you cast the second charge of you cast the second charge of Lightning, and you wait for the cooldown to come up again. So it would go like this. Curse, buff, Lightning, bomb, Firebomb, second Lightning, and you wait for cooldowns. Or you move to the boss to blink through it. And now, if you are buffing yourself, then you want to wait for the buff to come off cooldown. If you are buffing someone else, just feel free to start casting another Judgment Lightning and Fire Barrage, and you will just buff someone else with the Fighting Spirit Barrier when it comes off cooldown. But if you are fighting on yourself, just wait for the Fighting Spirit Barrier to come off cooldown to be able to cast it on yourself. And as you can see, it is like 2 seconds off. So yeah, you should have no issues going through that through that rotation. And skill specializations on the Lightning, all 3 again. This just makes sure that you can always cast it twice. You don't really care about the shield block shred in PvE. But if you want to be more mobile and you don't care that you will sometimes not be able to cast it twice, because when you get high enough gear, even the one cast will clear the entire pack like it is nothing. So it might be better for you to just run around, cast it instantly and keep running to another pack. But yeah, this ensures you that you can cast it twice, and the other 2 ensures that it deals AoE damage every time. So yeah, that's for skill specializations. For masteries, if you want to go through the struggle and respecking into damage every time, I would just go the full top and full bottom for more damage. And on wand, I would probably not care about the wand that much, because you are doing stuff spells most of the times anyway. And what is different on this from the PvP version of the build as well, you want to run with your stuff out, so you have longer range on your auto attack, and you have faster attack speed with stuff than with wand. So stuff is your main weapon in the PvE environment. Yeah. For stat points, 15 to perception. That's your first priority to get the range, so you can pull monsters from higher range, from further ranges. Yeah. Then, like, whatever else you can get. Dexterity gives you critical hit chance and attack speed. Wisdom gives you mana and cooldown recovery. Strength gives you health and heavy attack chance. So yeah, once you get 50 perception, the rest does not really matter that much. I would probably get the 30 wisdom just to get more mana. But yeah, how is it played once you get the build going? You basically get into a location where you want to farm. I like doing contracts in Pure Light Hill because there is a lot of water sources around, like all these puddles and things let you recover your entire mana pool when you run into them. and the gameplay would look like this pretty much. You would get into a pack of monsters and you would want to start clumping them up, so you just pull them like this, wait a little bit for them to run together, and then target the middle monster, do your AoE damage, and everything should die pretty much. Another good location to farm here is also from Pure Light Tower, and that's the Shattered Temple. When there, you can pull really big packs of skeletons together, and since they have like smaller bodies, they are able to clump together better. So you can just kill them in big numbers. So that's how this build clears. In the Shattered Temple it would look like this. Hopefully there will be no people now. Okay. A lot of people here today. But yeah, you would basically just run like this, lure monsters. And since they are smaller, they will just clump together. And you can just shred the entire group like this. For archers, there are archers here. If you run closer to the archer, he will start auto-attacking you. And if you run out of his range while he's auto-attacking you, he will just start running to you. And you can pull it to another archer as well, or to a melee group, like you saw right here. So yeah, that's how I farm. The same method works in open world dungeons. In open world dungeons you will notice that monsters will start doing like focused attacks, those purple ones that you can block. I can try to see if some of these will do it, and if you block it with your wand shield, it will spread curse on all the targets around. And what that does, like monsters in open world dungeons deal more damage. When you curse them all with your block like this, you will leech from all of them at once. So when you pull like 20 monsters and you spread your curse to them and you start damaging them, you will just leech life from them through vampirism, through vampiric contract, and that will keep you alive basically in open world dungeons. So yeah, this is my all-around build. In dungeons you just use swift healing when it is needed, and you use Fountain of Life when it is really needed. Most often it is not. You are just able to heal everyone through the vampiric contract, as I showed you in the beginning of the video. So yeah, that should be it. This is my all-around build. Thanks everyone for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.